Sous le ciel bleu, vole en silence les cœurs des...
Hi, I'm doing a video today about clothing for backpacking. And I know that there are a lot of videos out there about all sorts of backpacking gear and about all sorts of clothes. One of the things I wanted to talk about is protection from the sun. That's because that is the thing that I personally have to deal with. And that's something that has come very recently. So here's my backstory. I haven't always been outdoorsy. I should not lie on YouTube. I was never active as a kid, never went outside. But as I got older, I started doing running, did distance running, then I got into cycling and doing distance cycling, and I did a few sprint triathlons, and then after a series of different injuries, that's when I got into backpacking. And so for quite a few years I've been outside, doing a lot of outside stuff, and I never worried about the sun. But recently it has become a big issue for me. After my last backpacking trip, which was this past summer, my husband and I did a section hike of the AT. It turns out that I have an autoimmune disorder, and one of the things about it is photosensitivity. So suddenly I have discovered that I am extremely sensitive to UV light in a way that I never thought I had been before, and it explains a lot of things, a lot of problems that I'd had. And as a result of it, I've gotten things like this, and I have some spots on my neck. But the point is, I have to be super careful about being out in the sun. That does not mean that I am not going to go outside. I'm still going to go outside. So the goal of this is to kind of explain what were some of the things that I wore before that still, for a lot of people, those things are still fine. But if you are a person who is concerned about the sun, if you're somebody who's worried about protecting yourself from the sun, or thinking you can't go out and do a lot of camping, hiking, backpacking because of the sun, you can still do it. It's okay. And here are some of the things, we're going to go over some of the things that I have used that are helpful for me. So let's look at what's inside my closet. It's not in my closet now, it's out on the bed, but let's look at what I pulled out of my closet today. Okay, like a lot of people, I started out hiking in these things. Okay, these are functional, but they're not very attractive. Okay, these are Columbia nylon zip pants. And I know fashion is not the primary purpose of backpacking. You want to be functional, but there is such a thing as form and function. And that's kind of, I kind of try to do that if at all possible. So I have had these for like 10 years, I think. And they are in excellent condition because I only wear them when I have to wear them, which is when I go camping or whatever. But this is what I used to take with me on camping trips, backpacking trips. But I only wore them for those, and they were only weekend trips. So I'd only wear them for a couple of days, and then I'd bring them home and wash them and put them away, and they would not see the light of day until the next trip. So yeah, they work great, but I don't really like the way they look, so I don't wear them that much. Okay, so last summer we did a section hike of the AT. We did the Georgia section, so we started at Springer and we finished up at the North Carolina, South Carolina, at the Carolina border, And then we hiked back down to Neal Gap and then got picked up from there. So what did I wear then? I did not know that I needed to be as careful of the sun. So what I wore usually were these, which are running shorts. I'm just doing the bottoms first, and then I'm going to go to the tops. So these are running shorts. They have they have a liner on the inside, so you don't have to wear underwear. And I chose these because they had pockets that kind of go up like this instead of sideways. And these pockets, because they're up and down kind of pockets, were fantastic for holding a chapstick, a bandana, something light. I mean, I could put my phone in these, but because it's just like an elastic band and they're very light, it kind of pulls down. But you could put your phone in here. My phone fit fine in these. So I wore these, and when I was not wearing these, I wore this, which is an ex officio hiking skirt. It's nylon, it's very light, and it has, again, it's got pockets. And I really like hiking in a skirt. You have great range of motion. It's easy to pee. You know, you don't have to pull your shorts off or pull your pants down. You just lift. I mean, you still have to take your underwear off, but you just lift the skirt up. So it is, in that sense, yeah, you know, it's nice. I liked the skirt a lot. So the first part of the trip, I wore the shorts. And then the second part of the trip, I wore the skirt, and I really liked the skirt a lot. When I got back from that trip, I stopped in Houston to visit my sister, my family there, and got to go to REI, and I found these really great shorts that I loved. I think they're the REI Sahara shorts. Similar to the other ones that I had, but they have a drawstring at the top and an elastic waistband. They also have a liner, and they have side pockets, but the side pockets have zippers. So you can put your stuff in there. Oh my God, there's something in there. Oh, I got a medal for something. I don't remember what, but I got a medal and it's in my shorts. And then you can zip it up, so see, didn't lose my medal. So they work really well. They also have this nice little detailing on the sides. They have a little bit of sort of laser cut venting, and I guess a little detailing with a reflective material, a little reflective detailing there. So these are very nice, but I don't really wear them anymore because I have to protect myself from the sun. So now that I know that I cannot wear shorts when I hike unless I wear a whole lot of sunscreen, what do I wear? And maybe you have some sun concerns. I mean, everybody should be, wary of the sun. Yeah, all the things our parents told us were good for us, turns out they were bad. Milk, the sun, yeah, that's a goofy line from a movie. But it's kind of true. Anyway, so what do I wear now? Sometimes I wear running tights. Okay, these are New Balance. They have a little bit of reflective detailing on them. Lightweight, drawstring. They have a little pocket in the back. So when I'm not backpacking, if I have the backpack off, I can stick my phone in this back pocket. So these are nice, they're comfy, and they work well to cover from the sun, but not too hot. Now when it does get cold, I have, depending on how cold it is, I have two different options. And these come from my previous activity, which was cycling. I did a lot of cycling, road bike, gravel biking, and about that much mountain biking. But it was a lot of fun. And so what did I wear? The things I wore then, I can wear backpacking. So this is a pair of, let's see if I can find the tag on them. These are Cannondale fleece tights. Okay, they're for cycling, but they work very well. I've worn them multiple times for backpacking. They are wind resistant a little bit, not super wind resistant, but you know, they work. And they're fleece lined. The nice thing about them for backpacking is that if you look at the waist design, they're higher up in the back and lower in the front. Because when you're biking, of course, you know, you're leaning forward like this. So they fit a little higher up in the waist here so that no one has to see your butt crack. And they're a little lower in the front. And that works really well for backpacking because, you know, that if you're worried about chafing, if you're worried about maybe sometimes your pants sliding down, that was one thing that I didn't like about these, the running shorts, is that sometimes with my hip belt, the shorts would feel like they were sliding down a little bit, and I'd have to kind of pull everything up. With the Cannondale tights, because they're already high up, didn't have to worry about that. Now, if it gets really cold, which I typically do not hike in really cold weather, but occasionally I will, and this is what I wear. These are also cycling tights. These are Specialized. That's the company name. And they're specialized for cold weather. They are called Element 1.5. I have no idea what this material is, but these things are fantastic in cold weather. They are extremely wind resistant. They breathe very well. I do not get sweaty in them. If I hike on a day that it's cold and windy in the morning, and then the wind dies down and the sun comes up, it's still cold, but not windy, my old wind-resistant tights would make my legs sweat. But these breathe very well. It's a kind of a thick material. It's soft on the inside, kind of fleecy, but they are fantastic. I bought them originally when I was training for a gravel ride in Emporia, Kansas, called the Dirty Kanza, which if you're into gravel riding, oh my gosh, you have to check it out. Now, I did not do the big race, the 200. I only did the little half pint race, which is 100 miles, which was tough for me, but I did it. And I had to train in November and December and January because the race is at the very beginning of June. And so that meant I had to go out and ride when it was cold, when it was windy, and these things were fantastic. The other nice thing about them for hiking is that because they're for cycling, they're cut in an odd way. They're not straight. They have sort of a bend in the knee. So that gives you a wonderful range of motion, you know, for cycling, but it also gives you great range of motion for hiking, for climbing, for scrambling over rocks and things. These are fantastic. Now, they're not cheap, okay? Well, you know, you're into backpacking, so you know that any niche, however you pronounce that, area, the more specialized something is, the more expensive it is. Okay, so backpacking gear, very expensive. The better the quality, right? Cycling, triathlon, any kind of sport. When you get into like the really specific gear for it, yeah, it gets expensive. But these things are great. I bought them at my local cycling store, Velocity, here in Lubbock. But you can go to the Specialized website and you can order them online, men's or women's. Okay, so That covers like cold weather stuff, but I'm gonna be hiking in the summer. So what am I gonna wear then? This is what I have bought to use as it gets warmer. Where is it? Here it is. Okay, I'm sure you've seen these before. These are North Face Aphrodite, I think is what they're called, pants. These are, I think it's like sun protective, UPF 50. So that's pretty good for me. They have a nice wide waistband. It has a drawstring. It has 2 pockets. So I'm going to try these out and see how they work. I think I will like them because I have something similar already, but not in the color that I want. Okay, so these I bought on sale at REI, and okay, on sale they were about $50. Okay, this is something very, very similar. Okay, it's synthetic, it's the same kind of polyester, it's got the same kind of webbed waistband with a drawstring and the pockets on the side, but these come from Costco. And they're probably, I mean, everything at Costco is very cheap, so I don't know. I don't even think they cost $20. The problem is that they're black, and I can't find the color I want because I wanted the gray ones. So since I couldn't find the gray ones, and I don't want to hike in the summer in black ones, I had to kind of suck it up and buy the $50 North Face ones. So we'll see. And also, I don't know if these are sun protective. So, you know, I guess it's worth paying the extra money for the sun protective ones. I don't know. We'll see. I guess the thing is that if you can find something that you like, that's a little bit more reasonable, you know, it doesn't have to be North Face. It doesn't have to be Patagonia. It doesn't have to be any of those things. As long as you like it and it's comfortable for you and it serves your purpose, that's all that matters, right? Okay, so that covers all of the bottom part. What about the top part of my body? Let's take a look at how that has transitioned. So when I did the Appalachian section hike, again, I know function is important, but I kind of like to look nice too. And so this is going to seem kind of goofy, but the 2 shirts that I alternated on the Appalachian Trail were a couple of Lacoste shirts. Okay, so I mean, if you're of a certain age, you will remember the Lacoste shirts from the 70s and the early 80s. That's where I remember them from. Okay, so, you know, little alligators. I had this one, and I had this blue one. See, there's a little alligator. Okay, so Lacoste were originally designed as tennis clothing. And you know, you can go to their websites, so like the whole long history of Lacoste. I didn't want to wear just like a t-shirt. I don't know, I just wanted to wear something different. That's just me. And so I bought these. These are from their sport collection, and they are, yeah, Lacoste Sport. They are synthetic. They're, I guess, 100% polyester. Anyway, they're lightweight, they dry easily, there's, you know, the wicking and everything. And honestly, I kind of like to pop the collars because it protects the back of your neck from the sun. So I had this one, and I had this one. This one was my favorite. I don't know, I think it was just the cut. It was a little bit more fitted. And I don't know, orange, it's a nice bright color, fun color. This was my favorite hiking shirt. But again, I gotta cover my arms now, so I can't wear these. I could maybe get a long sleeve Lacoste shirt, but I've found something else. Okay, another thing that I used to wear that I don't wear anymore is this shirt. Again, this is a cycling shirt. This is from a company called Club Ride. And Club Ride designs cycling clothes that are intended to look a little bit more stylish, that don't look like just super tight spandex jerseys and shorts. So this shirt is it's a little plaid shirt. It's kind of like got a Western style to it. It's got little kind of pearl snaps, and it has mesh on the sides, which is very nice. So it breathes very well. It's a very light polyester, and because it's a cycling shirt, it has a little zip pocket in the back. So it's like right here. And you can put a phone or chapstick or something in there. And again, you're not going to do that while you're backpacking, but when you're just walking around camp or if you're in town, it's a normal looking shirt and it's very convenient. Okay, I have another one like that from Club Ride, which is very much a Western shirt. It's purple, and I love purple. And so it has like that Western cut yoke where it kind of comes down to a point on the sides. Again, it has that, it's got mesh in the pits, so you get a little air there. It's got a zip pocket. It's got a little zip pocket there in the back. Again, because it's for cycling, but there's never anything wrong with this. It's got little details that are reflective. So, you know, you're walking around in town, or it's dark, you got a little bit of reflective stuff, and people will maybe notice you a little bit better. So it's safety. Safety is important. Okay, I still wear this one. It's a little bit heavier than this one. This is more of like a summer shirt, and this is more of a cooler weather shirt. But it's a great shirt for hiking. So what do I wear now? This is the REI Sahara shirt. It has a UPF of 35. It has mesh in the pits and on the sides. It has two little breast pockets with snaps and a little loop in the front, I guess to hang whatever, your sunglasses or whatever it is that you want to hang. Okay, I like this shirt a lot better than the Columbia Omni shade, which is only 40, UPF 40, so it's a difference of 5. Those are really slick feeling, and they don't seem like they breathe as well. So I like the Sahara shirt. I like the feel of the fabric. I like the mesh on the sides and under the pits. It's just, for me, this is better. Also, the sleeves are not only just long, but they actually they're kind of curved, and it comes to a little bit of a point, so you get a little bit more coverage over your hand. And again, that may not be important for you, but if you're somebody who is concerned about sun exposure, it might matter more to you than to somebody else. Okay, so those are shirts and bottoms, shorts or tights or pants, whatever. A couple other things. Let's see what else I got over here. Oh, these are my cycling gloves that I used to wear for cold weather. And I take these when I go camping. Again, they have like a wind-resistant fabric on the backs, and so they're really good. They've got a little bit of cushioning, you know, underneath, you know, for your handlebars, but they work really nice. They're just very nice if you're using trekking poles or whatever. So I always take these with me. Again, even though they're originally designed for cycling, can still use them for other stuff. I love bandanas so much. So I do have a buff type thing. It's not a buff. Buff isn't, it's not the brand Buff. Buff has become one of those words like Kleenex and Xerox. That's what it's becoming, because you say it and people always talk about them, but there are other companies that make them, but when you use the other company's brand, you still call it a buff. So I guess that's good for them because they always get the recognition. Okay, so buff. Okay, it's not a buff. The ones that I have are by this company. It's called Boho Bandau. Boho Bandau. I bought them in Cloudcroft, New Mexico at this shop called High Altitude, which is a really cool shop. So if you ever go to Cloudcroft, you definitely have to go to High Altitude because they've got like cycling stuff, camping stuff, all sorts of cool stuff. Anyway, I like this company because, again, I like things for form as well as function. And yeah, it's just like a long regular buff, but look, it's so cute. It's got flowers. So I like the design of this one. And this is the one that I had before that, and I still wear this one. And it's got like a cool, funky pattern. Underwear. Kind of have to have underwear. I use the X Officio. It's sort of like a meshy kind of fabric, nylon, underwear, and I got them in 3 different colors because I thought it would be easier to rotate them if they were different colors as opposed to buying 3 pairs of the same color, because then unless you smell them, you're not sure necessarily which is the clean one and which one isn't. And I figured this way I'd know, like, okay, well, I wore the black one, so I'm gonna put those out of the way, and then I just go to the next color and then go to the next color, and that way I know which ones, what I have left. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of stuff already, isn't it? Oh, hats. I've gone through all kinds of hats. I started out just wearing like a cotton baseball cap like that. I look really goofy in hats. I have a weird angular face, and so I don't rock hats as well as other people do, so it's very hard for me to find something that I don't feel foolish in. Okay, so that's what I used to wear. Then, like for running and things, I switched over to a synthetic hat, right? So it's still like with a bill, and it's synthetic, and it's got some mesh along the sides. These are great, and a lot lighter and a lot more comfortable than a cotton hat. A cotton hat, I think, really holds in a lot of heat. Then, for a while, I was wearing this one. Okay, this is Orange Mud, which is a endurance athlete kind of company. They make products for endurance athletes. I have one of their hydration packs, which is fantastic. Then sometimes I used to wear this one. It's a cycling cap. You can see why I don't like to wear hats. Okay, so you can wear it down, right? You can flip it up. It's lightweight, but it has like a little tiny bill because it's for cycling. But I've worn it for camping too. Okay, so now I cannot wear those things. I have to like totally cover my head. And I bought this. This is a Columbia hat. You can tell it like totally covers everything, but it's floppy. So when the wind blows, it does this, and then it doesn't cover it. It serves no purpose if it's doing this. So I recently, that last trip to REI, found this thing, and it's by a company called Sunday. Haha. And it's like 50 UPF, and it's a very, oh gosh, it's got a very broad rim, brim, covers my whole face. It's stiff, so when and I've worn it around the neighborhood hiking, just walking around the neighborhood, and it's very windy here. So when the wind blows, it stays, it covers my face. The only problem with it is that in the back, it bumps against my backpack, and I hate that. So for right now, my temporary fix is that I put I put a little safety pin on it, and it has a little clasp back here. I fold it up. I run the, it used to work. It worked the one day that I did it. So I run the little thing, the little band through the safety pin, and then I clasp it and I adjust it. And so now the back of it is rolled up. It looks kind of nerdy, but you know, I've got to keep my face covered. So then this part is all covered up, and this part doesn't hit the back of the backpack. And if I really need it, I can put a bandana or pop my collar, something like that. Anyway, so that's the hat I wear. I guess that's it. I was going to talk about socks. Let's talk about socks, baby. No, that was so stupid. Okay, sorry. I was going to talk about socks. I guess I'll save socks and shoes for another time, if there ever is another time. I don't know how well I do on these, but you know, something to do. Anyway, the point of all of this was that I have to be super careful about the sun, and maybe you have to be super careful about the sun. But that doesn't mean that with a little bit of thought and preparation, you can't go out and enjoy it. I'm all covered up. I've got my sunscreen, I've got my long sleeves, I've got my UPF pants, I've got my hat, but I'm still out there enjoying it. So I guess that's it. Thank you. Thank you. If you made it this far, oh my gosh, you're tougher than you give yourself credit for if you made it all the way through this video.